Have you found yourself wondering, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Recognizing the stranger in the mirror is the book for you. It helps us to unravel the mystery of who you really are, revealing your life's passion and why you should unveil the real you to the world. We need you. You are valuable and necessary for those who are connected to you. Do not be afraid to peek in and discover all your gifts and talents to share. It's real freedom when we reveal our authenticity. Stacey Bullock is a two-time best-selling author, transformational speaker.
Well, hello out there. Great day to you, beautiful souls. So, I am extremely excited, a lot of nervous, but it's okay because we are going to move in this flow and welcome to Tools for Everyday Living. I am Stacey Bullock, your host, and I just want to start out by showing my gratitude and how thankful I am saying it out loud, because this was certainly not a part of the journey that I was expecting. But when you find that your flow, you find yourself in areas that you never thought you would be in. And this is one of them for me. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who is joining, who has joined. I'm so appreciative of you all. It is an honor to be able to talk to you via this method. So share with your friends. Matter of fact, with your enemies for that matter. Here we're on Tools for Everyday Living. I'm just going to give you a little background about why we're here and what it is that we want to share with the world. Every episode, you'll be able to walk away with some type of tool that is able to be implemented into your life to handle real life circumstances. A little secret for us. Challenges, they're opportunities. We have to look at them as an opportunity and not as something that we can't overcome, because we can overcome challenges, but we have to have the tools to do it. It's impossible to repair a refrigerator without the right tools. The human body, the human mind, the human spirit, the human soul, it's impossible to repair it without having the right tools. So we're here to share tools with you every week, every Friday at 4 p.m. We'll be right here sharing tools for everyday living, things that are going to be relevant to your everyday life, things that are going to be good for your soul, which is the place where our passions and our desires live. We're also going to look at some tools that will look at our spiritual side. And we definitely can't forget this body. We cannot forget this vehicle that we use on a consistent basis to travel around on earth. So we want to make sure that we have a well-rounded array of programming for you. We want to provide for you things physically. So you may hear someone on here talking about going to the gym, going to the doctor, what are good products to use for everyday life. What is it going to take for me to fulfill my purpose? How am I making sure that I get there? Well, we're going to talk about those things, and we are going to see that we can have some things that will help us along the way. We just won't have to walk around without anything that is guiding and leading us. You know, sometimes we can get so bogged down and caught up with life that we can't hear these things, or we can't see these things that are sometimes right in front of our face, that can be utilized for our good and help us to bounce back quickly when life starts to throw some of its curveballs. And if you haven't been here long, trust me, life is going to throw some without our permission. And we must be ready for it when it comes. When the refrigerator breaks down, I was just walking past mine a little while ago, and I was thinking to myself, wow, you're probably about 5 years old, and the ice was a little different the other day. And I thought to myself, well, maybe something needs to be repaired. And whether I spoke it into existence regarding the refrigerator, because I usually use that inanimate object as an example to show us that things need to be repaired, and it has to be the right person. There might be some people on here that can actually remember back in the day when the Maytag commercial, they still come on. Actually, they just don't look the same. They now have a more fancy twist to it, I'll say, with the animation and things like that. But back in the day, the Maytag repairman actually used to knock on the door in the commercials, and he had a toolbox in his hand. So we need a toolbox. We need a human toolbox. Again, I thank you all for joining me so that we can go ahead and now really jump right into what is this? Don't take it personal. What is this show about today? Don't take it. What does that mean? That means do not internally make it belong to you. We can do that sometimes. We can take things and make it belong to us when it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the person who tried to give it to you, tried to make you feel like for some reason you had to take on what it is that they're also taking on. But we have to always remember, if you adopt their truth, that means you're not paying attention to your own truth. And we are our best self when we speak truth. We are our best self. It is the best place to be. It is the most peaceful place to be, but also a place of needing some courage and some strength and understanding and direction and guidance as to what is all going on. That's something that my brain is actually processing right now. What is going on? Here I am speaking to the world, having access to people who I would never have had access to without this form of broadcast. So we're thankful, but we want to make sure when we're in our thanking that we're not giving up ourselves. You know, sometimes we can get a little wishy-washy and say, oh, I have to be thankful for this, but you really don't like it. No, you can be thankful for the individual that is doing it, but you don't have to agree with everything that everybody does. Stay in your truth. Make sure that you tell yourself the truth all the time. When it's not your truth, it's their truth, and it's their comments, and it's their beliefs, it's their experiences that we are now looking to take on to become our own. We're going to stop right there and leave taking it personal at this point, and we're going to take a station break, and we will be right back. We're back. Tools for everyday living. We're talking about don't take it personal. We just briefly went over what it means to take it personal. It means you're internalizing something that doesn't belong to you. It's almost as if we go and eat something that is spoiled, and when we eat it, it goes in the inside of us, and the inside doesn't like it, so it wants to try to get rid of it. And that's what we do when we take on things personally from someone else. We take on their persona. Can you imagine that? Taking on something that doesn't belong to you. It was made, it was designed for somebody else. We have to make sure we stay in our own design, that we use our own created design for us. It's specific. It has everything that is needed right here in this vehicle. But why shouldn't we take it personal? Well, we shouldn't take it personal because it's a negative thing for us. That's number one. It is a something that can contribute to negative self-limiting beliefs. You want to make sure that what you think about you is never negative. Yes, we may do things that are negative, but let's not browbeat ourselves and uh, hold on to something that we can't change. Because if it's already happened, there's nothing that we can do about it to stop it. It's happened. It's over. Now we have to make a choice to move on from it. And we have to make a choice when we start to take on other people's challenges and other people's thoughts about who we are, other people's thoughts about why we do things the way we do it. Well, we do it the way we do it because that's who we are. We are okay with us. Yes, we know about making changes, and I pray that you continue to join Tools for Everyday Living on Fridays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because we are going to have resources and tools to help us be the best person that we could possibly be, and be able to navigate through life's circumstances quickly sometimes, but sometimes there's a process. But we won't be looking at any negative personas. We'll always look at the positive about who we are. And we don't want to present ourselves from pursuing our own goals. I hope you're out there setting goals. I'm sure one day we'll talk about those too. And we want to reach our full potential, but we have to set goals. We have to go through this process. But how can I go through a process if I'm trying to go through somebody else's process? And that's what happens when we take things personal. We internalize their person, their private life, their emotions, the things that matter and they're connected to them. We take that on when we take things personal. That's why the goal is to not take things personal. We're on the part of why we should not take it personal. Our experiences are our experiences. Their experiences have formulated their way of thinking, their methodology. We have to be careful, because when things are regarding another person's emotion, that's impossible for us to live out, because we have our own emotions. And we have to know how to navigate with the ones that we have. I don't know about you, but the emotions sometimes that flow through me, I have enough on my. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. This first time hiccups. Yes, I blanked out for a minute, but I'm back now. But we have to make sure that we are taking on the things that personally belong to us. What I was saying before I cut out, that I have enough in me that I need to take care of that than trying to add in somebody else's emotions and feelings and put those in with mine. And now we have this mixing pot of apples and oranges, and sometimes they don't mix. They might be nice in a fruit bowl, but they don't mix in the mind. An orange tree produces oranges, an apple tree produces apples. So depending upon where we were built from, these are the things that we hold dear and hold near to us. We cannot hold dear and hold near to some of the things from others. Now, yes, we do have some similarities, many more than most would like to admit. We have many similarities, and I am thankful for that, because that does give us some common ground, and that lets us know that, you know what, I can learn to change my response to challenges when they come, when I start to take things personal. Just think about this feeling of the negativity from the disappointment and the rejection and the hurt, when those things come because of something that somebody did or said, or things just didn't go the way you thought they would go, then, and there was this disconnect. because we were thinking that it should go one way, and now here it is, it went a whole different way. You have conversations sometimes, and people say, oh, that went left quick, and that was not the expectation. So now there's this disconnect of, wait a minute, my heart told me one thing that was, I really felt was going to take place and was going to happen, but then the conversation went a totally different way that I wasn't really expecting. And that's when we begin to have that disconnect from my heart and my mind. How come they didn't match up today? Well, it's okay that it didn't. We can't internalize that it didn't. We still have to have so much gumption and want to move forward in our life. We have that within us. So now we're like, okay, wait a minute. Well, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. So I'm going to have to come up with a different method, a different process. Not the end result, but the process is different. We're going to start to have a different response to this challenge that shows up, sometimes on a daily basis. And we don't want to get caught in what the psychology field calls cognitive dissonance. But we're going to go to another short break, and we're going to come right back and talk about that cognitive dissonance a little bit. Hi, my name is Stacy Bullock. I am the president and CEO of Ordered Steps Incorporated, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to provide tangible hope to formerly incarcerated female veterans and homeless women. We give them an opportunity to live a productive life while participating in our one-year training courses to guide them in life skills and job training. All right, we're back. Yes, so cognitive dissonance. This is an interesting theory to me because it matches up with something that I actually thought about and kind of made a little phrase about and said, does my mind match what my heart knows? Does my mind match with what my heart knows? Because see, the heart, the center, the matter of who you are, that's the place where everything is swirling around and thoughts are happening and desires and passions are just jumping up and down and leaping and saying, oh, I want to do this. I want to be a baker. Oh, I want to be a hairstylist. I want to be an artist. I want to be a singer. I want to be an attorney. These things are jumping around in you and saying that, but have we taken into consideration, does my mind know, believe, I'll say, what my heart knows? So now we have to get this place of this cognitive dissonance, this disconnect. Where is this disconnect coming from? Well, it's coming from the feeling of some discomfort mentally. And when we have discomfort, we always are looking for a way to make it better, right? Usually for me, I know that's the case. I'm learning more and more every day to relax, Stay calm, take a deep breath. Don't let it get out of hand in my mind, because that's where it's going to turn my body to executing and doing things that may not be productive. So when we want to make these alterations in our mind, make sure that our attitude is correct towards us. Our belief is strong in who we are. Then our behavior will begin to reduce this discomfort, and we'll be able to restore some balance. We'll be able to alter our way of doing things, and we're going to do that by our thoughts and the things that we tell ourselves, sometimes inadvertently, to think. We tell ourselves that what to think without knowing that we just told ourselves what to think. There's this term, it's called meta thinking. And that means to think about what you're thinking about. Pay attention to the thoughts that are roaming around in your mind, because some of them you didn't have any control of them coming into your mind. Just like we're talking about today, don't take it personal. When these thoughts come to you that were provoked because of someone else's behavior, stop. Think about what you're thinking about. And then now we can make some alterations in our thoughts, because we have to now figure out the best way to justify this disconnect. Let's make sure that when we are using our justification tactics, that we are not making excuses. That's the only way I could think to say that. No need to make excuses. And there are times when I don't believe that we as human beings realize that we're making excuses. We sometimes normalize us internalizing other people's feelings and behavior, and we are now internalizing their thoughts, because guess what produced that behavior? It was a thought that produced their behavior. So now we have to pay attention when we begin to justify this disconnect, that, hey, I want to make sure that I am doing this in the most positive way. We have to know what we should say to ourselves. You have to know what it's going to take for you to bring yourself back to who you are. May know of this story. Excuse me, like I said, the first day of technologies. It's okay. We're going to work it out. I promise you. But there's this story of they call him the prodigal son. And I love these words that are said in the Bible. It says he came to himself. I taught a class yesterday to some individuals that work in a nonprofit organization. We were doing a workshop on workplace etiquette. And the growing theme that kind of threaded itself throughout the class was, now that I'm aware. So when we become aware, it is now our responsibility to make sure that we are saying the things to ourselves that are going to cause us to now continue to want to leap up and get these things done that we feel are our purpose. We can't take this mind beating anymore, especially from ourselves. We have enough on the outside to deal with about telling you what you should think and what how we should take care of things. Well, I believe that you have the best orchestrator and administrator of your life's purpose, of your soul living on the inside of you. So we have got to stop telling ourselves these negative things and causing ourselves to now say, oh, wait a minute. Now I'm unstable because I can't think, but we're going to get back to that. Let's take another little short break and we're going to get right back to that.
Have you found yourself wondering, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Recognizing the stranger in the mirror is the book for you. It helps us to unravel the mystery of who you really are, revealing your life's passion and why you should unveil the real you to the world. We need you. You are valuable and necessary for those who are connected to you. Do not be afraid to peek in and discover all your gifts and talents to share. It's real freedom when we reveal our authenticity. Stacey Bullock is a two-time best-selling author, transformational speaker, and host of Tools for Everyday Living TV show. She is committed to igniting resilience, personal transformation, and building life skills of her audiences and clients. The author of 2 previously written self-help books, Beaten Oil and Regain Power Through Resilience, Don't Let Your Brain Go Numb. Stacey imparts lessons that teaches readers to utilize their light as a guide for others and discovering inner strength and resiliency to bounce back when life throws curveballs. Stacey may be reached for speaking engagements, leadership and employee training, and life skills coaching via her email at stacy@powerandresilience.com.
Hi, my name is Stacey Bullock. I am the president and CEO of Ordered Steps Incorporated, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to provide tangible hope to formerly incarcerated female veterans and homeless women. We give them an opportunity to live a productive life while participating in our 1-year training courses to guide them in life skills and job training. All right, let's talk about a few ways to divert this type of thinking. Just stop it. But this is going to take some practice. It's going to take some effort, some energy. But I learned something as I study along the way, that effort and energy in the physics world equals power. Effort and energy equals power. So if we are looking to divert this way of thinking so that we can move forward quickly in life and get more purpose done, I mean, I'm telling you, if you put forth some effort and some energy, I'm telling you, you are going to find yourself in a much better place. It's going to take, we don't always want to put forth the effort or the energy. But that's what I was just talking about, this cognitive dissonance thing. We have to make life connect. If I know, now Stacy personally knows that I must exercise. I know I just talked about myself in the third person. I know that was interesting, right? But I know that it is an absolute must that I exercise. It's a part of my life. I have to do it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And now I have to say, how do I make sure that I get this in? That I don't um, slack off or have some type of lack in my thinking about myself that says, hey, you don't deserve to exercise. You don't need to be here for a long time. You don't have anything to do. So here we are now with these limiting beliefs, simply because I didn't want to put forth the effort and the energy to produce the power that is going to be needed for us to navigate through our everyday lives. We don't have a choice but to navigate. We have to. What are we going to do? Not navigate, not participate in life? Let me tell you this. First thing we have to do, like I just did, tell myself the truth. Tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself when you are doing things that you know are going to lead you in a direction of slowfulness. You know, if you sit around and eat the big Thanksgiving dinner every day, eventually you're going to become, slowful and just want to sit around and say, hey, I'm full now. And I'm not gonna move. And that I think it's a pheromone that's in the turkey that causes some of us to become very sleepy after we eat it. So we want to make sure that we say, you know what, if I want to eat a lot of the Thanksgiving meal, maybe I should just cut it down in smaller portions. Yeah, do that. That might make things a little bit better, a little bit easier if we just cut it down into smaller portions. And sometimes we have to tell ourselves the truth in smaller portions. Don't just take one big chunk out of you and say, you're horrible at this. No, 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 no. Ask yourself the question, how can I become better? That's a question we can all ask ourselves every single day. What is it that I can do today that I can become better than I was yesterday? That's a way of diverting those negative thoughts from taking things personal. I always ask, even when I'm in I don't get in these too many anymore, thankfully, arguments, and I have to stop and look at myself and examine myself and say, what role are you playing in this? And tell myself the truth about what role I'm playing in this. Because now that's the only thing that we can deal with. We can only deal with the role that we're playing. It has nothing to do with the other person, because only thing personal is the person standing in your shoes or your socks or standing on your feet if you're barefoot right now. But it is up to us to tell ourselves the truth, accept it, change it, move on. We do have feelings, and that's when we're feeling some kind of way. We have to make sure we're not focusing on what was said to us or what was not said to us. We have to focus on the part of how can I make this better? What is my responsibility in changing this? Because we all have a responsibility to change it. I can't change my neighbors. I can't change my coworkers. I can't change my friends down the street. I can't change those people. Now I can change me. And if changing me and you means that we walk away, we say, you know what, you weren't going to support me in my ideas that I know that I'm purposed to do in life. You wanted to tell me things that made me feel a certain kind of way. So that may mean that I may have to walk away from this relationship. And that's hard. But that's telling yourself the truth. Sometimes we stay in things way too long and we abolish and abandon our own thoughts and feelings of excellence about who we are. We have to make sure that you believe so much in your gifts and your talents, you can never be deterred. No matter how small of the progress that you're making towards completing and discovering and gaining the vision of who you are and having an understanding that is comparative, your comparative advantage. That means you're so stoked about your own abilities. You cannot be stopped. We are efficient when we are in purpose. Let's say that again. We are efficient when we are in purpose. Remember that. Remember that if this is the outcome of this thing for not taking things personal is that we don't take it to heart. See, the heart, that's where life is produced. That's where we get these desires from and these things that we like to do. You know, a tap dancer, they love tap dancing. You ever notice if you know one, or think of somebody that you do know and they just love what they do? That person is always tapping. That person is always doing moves. That person is doing things, and they're most likely sometimes doing it without even realizing that they're doing it. I know I do it sometimes when I have conversations with random people. It's just anybody. I can be on the street, in the store, and we just start to have these conversations, and I just begin to provide guidance, and not in a way where it's not accepted, because I've been listening. Sometimes I can stand in a store and have a conversation with a total stranger for an hour or more. But that it must have been in my purpose for that day for me to go in that store to utilize my gift and my talent. And that is encouragement and exhortation. And my motto is I build people. That's what Stacy Bullock does on Tools for Everyday Living. We're here building people so that you can be in your flow. Because when you're in your flow, you're fully living onward and winning. If you didn't notice, that was an acronym. A little bit more about me if you hadn't seen a bio or something around. I spent 18 years of my life in the Army. So my life was kind of wrapped around acronyms. So I am utilized in the acronym world a lot. And sometimes things come up, and when I am looking at words, I will say, well, what does that mean? What does that look like? What does that show up as? What does fully living onward and winning show up as? It has to show up as us gaining confidence, us gaining trust in who we are, us feeling this consistent state of victory. But look, I'm going to take another little break, and I'm going to be right back because we are almost out of time.
Have you found yourself wondering, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Recognizing the stranger in the mirror is the book for you. It helps us to unravel the mystery of who you really are, revealing your life's passion and why you should unveil the real you to the world. We need you. You are valuable and necessary for those who are connected to you. Do not be afraid to peek in and discover all your gifts and talents to share. It's real freedom when we reveal our authenticity. Stacey Bullock is a two-time best-selling author, transformational speaker, and host of Tools for Everyday Living TV show. She is committed to igniting resilience, personal transformation, and building life skills of her audiences and clients. The author of two previously
All right. So look, let's go back. I think I need to go back over something real quick because I want to make sure that we get this thought, this tool deep down on the inside of us so that when we need to use it, we have it. The word flow. We want to be in our flow. And when we take things personal, we get into somebody else's flow and not our own. And then we wonder, why am I not moving forward like I believe I should? Like my heart knows, but it does my mind believe it? And so I'm here today to help you get your mind to believing that you don't want to take things personal anymore. You want to have this discovery or building on the knowing of who you are, gaining that personal insight of who you are and being in your flow, fully living onward and winning. And if we're winning, we're gaining. And if we're gaining, we're growing. And if we're growing, we're developing. And every day we're developing until we leave here. We are developing. Every day we wake up, we can have a new thought, a new idea, because we have this infinite wisdom that lives on the inside of us. And when we tap into that infinite well of possibilities, oh yeah, we're going to win. It's going to take you some processes. Yes, remember, effort and energy equals power. Effort and energy equals power. Always remember that. You need to always know that you are on your path. Nobody else's. You're on your path. So when people do things that are out of sync for your heart, don't take that personal. That had nothing to do with you. You may have been the recipient of what they poured out, but it did not come from you. So you should not allow it to stay in you. Let's say that again. It did not come from you, so it is not for you. So don't let it stay in you. Do not internalize what I call the shenanigans. Don't let anybody talk you down off your gift or your talent. Make sure that you understand and know who you are. And we, every Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, will be right here to help guide you through these processes. Notice I used plural words. because this journey does not end until you leave, and nobody is leaving no time soon. I am speaking life to everyone who is listening. You will live and not die to declare what God has purposed for you. Got that? Grab that. Internalize that one. Internalize things that are going to build you and make you stronger. I want to thank everybody who joined me today. This has been an absolute pleasure of mine. I'm so thankful to be able to utilize and share the gift that God has given me to help and impact somebody. I know that something that was said or done today, not done necessarily, but said today, that will propel you to do life different if we've been doing it in a way that is not pleasing, not to ourselves. Please you, please God. It's okay if you please you, and it's certainly okay if you please God. Come here every Friday evening for your tools, for your implementations, for your resources, for your plans, for your ways to get things done. And when you do that, if you're on the YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit like. Don't forget to share with your friends and share with your enemies too. And remember, always be awesome. Every situation, every circumstance, you're the awesome one in it. You are the awesome one in it. Check me out on Instagram, Stacy_Bullock. That is BULLUCK. Also, I have a training company and coaching company called Power in Resilience. Power in Resilience. Check us out. Make sure if you or let us know if you have any needs out there you think that we'll be able to help you with. Those who are running nonprofits. I'm also the president and CEO of Audit Steps Incorporated, a nonprofit serving formerly incarcerated female veterans and homeless women. Check us out. Check our websites out, auditsteps.org, powerinresilience.com. And like I said, remember, always be awesome. Hit that like, and we'll see you next time.
Have you found yourself wondering, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Recognizing the stranger in the mirror is the book for you. It helps us to unravel the mystery of who you really are, revealing your life's passion and why you should unveil the real you to the world. We need you. You are valuable and necessary for those who are connected to you. Do not be afraid to peek in and discover all your gifts and talents to share. It's real freedom when we reveal our authenticity. Stacy Bullock is a 2-time best-selling author, transformational speaker, and host of Tools for Everyday Living TV show. She is committed to igniting resilience, personal transformation, and building life skills of her audiences and clients. The author of 2 previously written self-help books, Beaten Oil and Regain Power Through Resilience, Don't Let Your Brain Go Numb. Stacy imparts lessons that teaches readers to utilize their light as a guide for others. and discovering inner strength and resiliency to bounce back when life throws curveballs. Stacy may be reached for speaking engagements, leadership and employee training, and life skills coaching via her email at stacy@powerandresilience.com. Have you found yourself wondering, what is my purpose? Why am I here?
Hi, my name is Stacy Bullock. I am the president and CEO of Ordered Steps Incorporated, a nonprofit